Hi y'all, Jeff here with Jeff's Cars, and this will be a little different video because I'm, as you can see, kind of over here on the on my right, which would be your left, the R129 is still in the garage. So on the last video, unfortunately, we didn't get this done because one part actually failed, and I had to order it, and it still hasn't arrived. I ordered this on Sunday when we learned it failed, and well, actually went and checked an automotive parts store, and no, they'd have to order it, and they had to get special approval to order it. So I said, well, and believe it or not, it was coming from the same company that I was actually going to order it from, but it happens to be based out of California. Well, here it is. Today is Friday, October 25th, and the part has yet to arrive. And so I've been tracking it on USPS. And by the way, the part that's in question is the belt tensioner, and this is I think this is what they call I'm not sure. It's a connecting, adjusting rod. Well, this is the reason why it failed. It doesn't hold itself on there. So Jose can't finish this, and so the car's still sitting in here unless we push it out. But anyway, I've been tracking it on USPS, and guess what? That got part. I live here in northeast Nebraska. Tekama, Nebraska is north of Omaha, about an hour. So the part left San Francisco Monday because the seller ships right out. It's a reputable parts store, and they shipped it right out. So it travels across the United States on USPS, but it goes past us. It ends up at a St. Louis distribution center. Well, then from St. Louis, it comes back to Omaha, which is also a distribution center. And then yesterday, apparently, I don't know if it's an automatic sorter, if it's a human thing, but the part ended up going to Hastings, Nebraska, which is about 3 hours west of here. Yeah, about 3 hours west of Omaha, actually. And so as of right now, it's been processed through Hastings to come back to Omaha. And if it arrives in time, usually by 11:30, it should be processed again through the Omaha Distribution Center. And then it will arrive here in my town tomorrow morning, and then it'll come out, be delivered hopefully tomorrow. But that's not the purpose of this video. So the purpose of this video is, in the car, the 280SEL, the hubcaps were on the passenger side floor, and every time I picked them up, touched my hands to them and pick them up, they are just filthy. So we're gonna clean off 50 years of brake dust. Now, how these got that way, somebody's taken these cars on, these hubcaps off and on several times, but doggone it, nobody cleaned it up. And I've already done 2 of them, but I kind of wanted to, show what it takes to do this. So just as a reference point, I did this as I've been cleaning the car. It's been a mess, and a lot of you have already seen, the progress that's on it. But here's one that's been cleaned. It's nice and shiny on the front, and look, this is what it's supposed to look like. And when you're working with a classic, or a vintage car, it's nice to have everything clean. So I'm going to show you what I've used. I'm not endorsing the product in any way, but it's just something that I tried several different things. I tried brake clean. I tried, all kinds of other things. But what I found, and it came from Walmart, and is a Jay Leno's Garage Wash and Wax. Now I use this on my vehicles, um, but I don't use it as the wax portion of it. But I use it to wash the car, and I started using this summer and found out it's pretty good. But again, I'm not endorsing it, and I'm not recommending it. This is something that I'm using. It's inexpensive, but what I've done is I've mixed it up in a spray bottle, just a couple little small squeezes, and so that way I can shake it up, and I've got it lukewarm, and that way I could just sit here and spray the backside of the hubcap. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but you can see some of it's already starting to work its way through, and the center. And I'm actually going to go through lots of towels, but it's actually starting to eat away at it a little bit. And again, it's not the product, I don't think, but it could be. And I'm not waxing these, but as you can see, it's taking off a lot of the 50 years worth of brake dust. And it's not doing it all at once, and I'm not expecting it to, but it's at least getting it to where it's somewhat manageable. And then I'm going to go back over it with steel wool. And some of you that are my viewers and that have subscribed to the channel, if you're above 50 years old, you remember the TV commercials and Windex, and I could have tried Windex too, and I don't know if I even have any out here. But we used to use Windex on our chrome, and one of the commercials way back when was, "It ain't cool if your chrome don't shine." Well, and some of that we used to do with using Windex and steel wool. But right now I'm actually spraying this on, and as you can see, it's after I've made a one swipe at it, it's loosened it up. So now I can sit here and go around it again, and it's just taking more and more of that brake dust off of there, and really making the this wheel cap or wheel cover or whatever you want to call it, hubcap. It's what we called it back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, is hubcap. But actually it's called a wheel cover. Just making it start to look a little bit better. Now, once I get most of the, I already throw that one away. Once I get it, a little bit better, then I'll start working it with the steel wool. Now, I've done 2 of them, and I started on a third one, and so this is the 4th one that we're going to actually, clean up. And by the way, I'm sitting on a brand new tire. I've gotten 2 tires already mounted and balanced on rims for the car. And so over the weekend or on Sunday, when we get the car in here, then we'll put the put these 2 tires on and put the wheel covers on, and we'll start to see how the car is coming together. So I've got a good portion of that already cleaned off. I'm just going to give it a light spray now, and I stopped, and I go through steel wool a lot because chrome parts and things like that are really, it's nice to make them, keep them shiny. And this actually, for those of you who have never tried this, it works on, when you've got a little light surface rust and so forth. it actually does a good job of getting that off. So now I'm going to rub with the steel wool, and we're going to start with the centerpiece of it. But meanwhile, I'm going up here into the spaces between the the vent holes, or these little holes there, and it's starting to really starting to look nice. And then we'll come back through and give it a little dry. And I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but you can see it's starting to come back to life. Now we'll go up here in this area, edge area. This is usually the areas that are harder to get to, just because it's it's tougher area, and this is where it snaps into. And some of these snap clips here are going to be a little tough, but getting the bulk of it off of there, this really is, it's helping a lot. And it's going to make, is it going to make it improve the performance of the car? No, but what it is going to do is, when I grab it with my hands, I won't get that crud all over my hands. So, as you see, I'm going to finish this up real quick, and then also too, I'll show you this wheel. It's also the same way. Both of them are actually the same way. They're just horrible. And what I'm going to do with them is actually paint the wheels themselves, just so that they're just so they look a little nicer. Especially, you can visually see through these holes the wheel. So, but as you can see, it's just really, this back side is really starting to improve, dramatically. And so, these are just little things that one could do to, just improve the look of your car. Especially, if you got to take a wheel or tire off, you got to take the hubcap off or the wheel cover off, and change the tire or whatever. Hey, at least you're showing it off to where you've actually taken care of it. So let's go ahead and get a clean towel now. Let's throw that down there on the floor or ground. And really, that's about all it took, was to do that side, and we'll run the steel wool along the other side of it, just to give it a little bit of a shine. And folks, there you have it. Didn't take that long at all. And again, is it the product that from Walmart? I don't know. It softened it up, but this wheel cover here has got a few little scratches. But we're just going to kind of go over it just a little bit and just help improve the performance of it. I don't know if this is aluminum, or I'm going to guess this is stainless steel from back in that time, because it's on a steel wheel. Because aluminum and steel don't quite mix too well together. You got to have a rubber buffer between it. But there you go, folks. That didn't take long at all. Just a simple little trick that made the front side of the wheel and the back side of the wheel cover looking better. So now, on to the, we'll set that one down there, onto the tire, the wheel, the actual wheel. Now, this is a brand new tire, and again, the same thing. Now, I can use the steel wool, and I probably will, but I'm going to go ahead and start with the spray. And I haven't done this, but, I'm wanting to make this wheel, look a little bit better when I go ahead and put it on the car this weekend. But take my towel, and sure enough, we got a lot of brake dust. 50 years of brake dust, of course. That's insane. It's a 1972 model car. And, I don't know how many tires have been changed out on it. These wheels have certainly, yuck. These wheels have certainly taken a good portion of that brake dust. Now, which leads me to believe, and when we get the wheels and tires off, we'll probably do an inspection of the rims, of the wheels, or in the brakes and so on and so forth, just to make sure. And goodness, that's horrible. Just to make sure brake pads are good, or at least make a mental note of it, because we're probably going to have to, they probably need to be changed. And of course, pads, modern pads today, you can get pads that have minimal brake dust, that push off a little minimal brake dust. So probably going to look into that. But, from back in the 70s, they didn't have the technology that we have today. So, but looky there, we still got all kinds of yuck and muck of this brake dust in there. And, but going to go ahead and spray it down again one more time. Then I'm going to get the steel wool out and just kind of go over it to see, what is left on it, to see if it can pick up any more. And then I'll let it dry, and then then I'll paint it. And I'm not going to be on camera just to show you that I can, put a spray can of paint on here, but just showing you just really how easy it is to, clean the stuff. And having, again, is it going to help make the car perform better? I still have to go see. Here's the original wheel right here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but there's the original wheel, and I still got all kinds of brake dust. So I'm going to have to hit this at least another time or two just to get it down to metal, and I may not even have to paint the darn thing. So just again, a little sweat equity labor goes a long ways. And here it is. It's a nice fall evening in Nebraska, where temperatures are starting to drop. Not a bad idea to be out in the garage. So, folks, appreciate you watching. Share this with your friend. We're gonna have updates on the video, of the car. Hopefully, we'll do another video come this weekend once it gets pulled in here, provided the part arrives. Now, if the part doesn't come, Jose and I, we've already talked. When he comes over, we'll probably just push the car out, push it in the next stall over, and we'll get the 280 SEL put in here so that we can actually start working on it, doing some tests, hook a battery up to it, see what electrical's working. Probably go in and change all the fuses, just like I did in the 350 SL, just to start with the beginning, because electrical is going to be a nightmare in all these older cars, because there's going to be some corrosion over the years, and the fuses are the first place it happens. So more to come, but keep tuned. Share this with your friends. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe, and then put your comments down below. And appreciate you watching and watching the projects as they come along, and we'll keep you up to date on them. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.